Hello, my name is Mir Maiti and I'm going to present to you my project which I've made using Google Cloud AutoML. Ever since the pandemic, thousands of hospitals have been extremely busy throughout, day and night, trying to treat patients suffering from COVID-19. However, even in these hospitals at times, social distancing norms or wearing a protective suit are not followed, which has resulted in disastrous consequences. Even the doctors who are treating the patients are being affected by the virus, which hinders their capability to work and thus reducing the effectiveness of the hospital due to the absence of medical staff. For example, there's been a rise in the number of cases in Tamil Nadu due to this problem. In Kochi, about 14% of the health workers have been infected with COVID-19 due to not using the PPE kit properly. According to a study, a total of 267 health workers were infected with COVID-19 during that time. According to state governments, doctors have also been advised to wear triple layer masks and gloves, along with PPEs and special N95 masks if possible. I chose this problem since we can observe that the number of cases every month are increasing and are by no means declining in our country. Thus, it is essential that a response against the virus remains steadfast. But as the number of medical faculties keep on decreasing, while the load of the hospitals keep on increasing, a gloomy situation dawns upon us. So, to solve this issue, I've trained an AI using Google ML Auto Vision to determine whether the health workers are wearing proper safety equipment or not. It looks at various aspects of the images, whether the person has fully covered their hands using standard issue gloves, or whether they have covered their faces with triple layered mask or a face shield, or whether they are wearing a standard protective PPE. For my dataset, I uploaded image of various types of healthcare workers from the internet which are open sourced, as you can see here. And in my project, I put into two labels, those who wore a PP, which is labeled as with PP, and those who did not. As you can observe here, about 97 images in the with PP labeled have been put in, where we can see many doctors and health workers wearing a fully protective PPE, which is enabling them to be fully protective against the virus. And there is a without PPE dataset, where you can see various instances of people and doctors who are not fully worn a PPE, or they might have not worn a full N95 mask or other safety equipment, as you can see here. For my with PPE label, I collected 97 images, and while there were 111 images in the without PPE label. Thus, we can say that about 192 data points had been used, which is the total number of images which were used to training the model, used for training the model. At first, when we first trained the model using Google Cloud AutoML, we could see that the precision and the recall rate of the model was was completely 100%, which meant that it was accurately able to guess all the images and put them into two labels without PPE and with PPE very accurately. You can see here the graphs of the recall and the confidence score of the model, and this is the confusion matrix which helps us to determine whether the predicted label was completely correct or not. So as you can see here, it was 100% in case of without PPE and was 100% also in the case of with PPE. This is the training page of the model. Average precision is 1 since it was able to guess about 100% of all the images. Also, if we can say we can also test our modeling using a predefined set of images that I have selected here. Now we can see that its prediction we are almost 100% accurate. In this case, there might have been a confusion in whether the person are wearing a PPE or not, which is a personal protective equipment, since we can see here both the patients and the doctor. which is one of the disadvantages of this model, which can be also improved later on and could be used in helping determining whether who is a patient and who is a doctor. The precision rate is 100%, as you can see here with PP. Again with PPE, with PPE, without PPE, since the person is not wearing a fully protective suit, as you can see here. Thus we are able to see that since the training precision and the recall rate of the model was 100%, we could also observe that upon testing it with images that were completely accurate, we were able to get a 100% score and a prediction model. However, by several means we can also improve this model by helping it determine in the image which persons are the patients and which persons are the doctor, since these two people often come together during a hospital, which may make the model quite confused about who is wearing a PPE and who is without. So we can train this model on the basis of who is a doctor and who is not, so that it may be able to give a full correct prediction on the basis of that. Thank you, and I hope that you liked my model.